evening to come and be a part of. This evening, I had I made a decision, I suppose, the opportunity to actually go into Hamilton close to, it was around about 5, I think it was, 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I was amazed, to be honest, in terms of how many people were actually on the roadside watching and waiting for the Christmas parade to take place. And so I do commend the marketplace, who are the primary sponsors, all of the service providers, because I think sometimes we forget what goes on behind the scenes in order to make these things happen. But ultimately, it is really a spectacle. And I was also amazed, by the way, to see that it was both young and old people that came out to see it, and they're all excited. And part of it is to get into the whole Christmas spirit, hopefully understanding that it is a Christian holiday. However, we do know that people do focus on family, and I trust that that's what's going to happen in Bermuda this time around. We should all endeavor to be safe. And as I always say, try to do something that makes somebody else smile, because in doing so, hopefully that causes you to feel a little bit happy also. It's not about money. It's not about gifts. Sometimes literally it's about a smile. And I know even from this show that sometimes it's just about making contact, because there's at least one lady, she knows who she is, who uses this as her medium for contacting people, because she does live alone. There are some others who just like to have the radio on and listen in on what's going on. And today I smiled because as I was walking up the hill to the close by City Hall, someone said to me, well, guess what? I guess there'll be no show tonight. And I said, no, there'll be a show. It was only around about 5. I said, I'll be here on air at 8. And they then commended me because they said, well, guess what? You are consistent. And I'm consistent because I know what people want. And the show is not about me. It's about them. It's about trying to provide information. Primarily, this is a financial literacy show. And what I mean by that is the idea is to ensure that we can talk about whatever it is that deals with finances or money or economics even, and try to provide information. And so lately what we've been doing is having on individuals that have a story to tell, because we want to ensure that people can actually relate. And also what I want to make sure is that people have their own dreams, their visions, their business plans, and to know that no matter what they are, you can make it a reality if you're prepared to put the work in, be consistent, and have that strong vision, because that's what it really takes. It's more than a dream and a vision in terms of having a sense of certainty. First of all, see it in your mind's eye, dream about it, make it your own reality, and then understand that once that's done, you start to put the work in terms of understanding your competition, understanding the money that's required, understanding any government regulations that tie in, and then you can go from step by step and make your vision come to reality. And tonight we're going to get back to that. We've interviewed 2 of these guests before, and we brought them back now because what they do is relevant in terms of the Christmas season, the New Year season, and I want to understand what's going on and have some additional conversations around that. Before I start, though, I do want to say, extend condolences also in this time of year, because as we start to think about the Christmas season, there are some persons going to have, for the first time, maybe not a loved one's not going to be with them. Others, it's not going to be the first time, but they always think about what could have happened and differences. And so I want to make sure that everyone understands that we are thinking of you during this time. I want to send a special condolence out to the family of Miss True. Miss True she died recently. She has not yet been buried. And I did not say anything earlier because I wanted to make sure that the information was in the public arena. But I saw the Honorable Kim Swan had a post on Facebook. And so that's why I said I'll say tonight to the True family, you do have our condolences. And to others that have experienced losses recently, we say the same thing. But I'll say one more time before we start, is that everybody in Bermuda, please, please, please make a decision to do something for somebody else that'll bring a smile to their face. And the goal is that everybody should have a smile on their face. And those of us that do that would hopefully understand the impact that we have by doing the simple things. And sometimes it's just saying hello, sometimes saying good afternoon, sometimes giving somebody, taking time when people are in traffic, for example, rather than we getting ourselves all frustrated, just pause and say thank you, give them time and do those things. And of course, everyone, please, please, please slow down to make sure that we don't have any collisions and what have you at this Christmas time. So having said all that, I'm going to say welcome to my guests this evening. They are three from Modern Gent. Modern actually has a different bent, if you will, because in the vision of Mr. Dion Furbett, it was to do something that is, in my words, atypical for man, and that is to have a salon and spa focus on man. And then we'll talk some more about that. He has with him tonight 2 of his, I guess, well,
staff.
the whole key, but team members, which is Ms. Raven Smith
Team members.
and Mr. Luis Ramirez. Yeah?
Sir.
And so let's start again with Dion first. Introduce yourself. You did last time, but let us know who you are. Let us know who you are and the way you want it to be done. And then we'll go to each of you and then we'll come back and talk more generally about your business, how things are going, and I have some questions around that. To the listening audience, of course, we'll talk for probably about a half hour or so, and then you'll be invited to call in. The number to call is 297-1027. We already got some emails, not emails, rather some WhatsApps, on 538-8683, and I'll go back to this as time permits. But give us at least maybe a half hour to have a conversation. You'll see where it goes. You can get yourself settled, and then you can start to call in and interact with us. But again, to Mr. Ferbert, go for it.
Good evening, Bermuda. Good evening, Anthony. So this evening, I do have with me my spa manager, Ms. Raven Smith.
Good evening.
And we've also brought with us this time my salon manager, Mr. Luis Ramirez.
Good evening, everyone.
And we're here to tell you a bit more about Modern Gent.
Well, tell us who you are, first of all, and then
So-
go on.
Yeah, okay. So I'm Dion Ferbert. I'm the owner, the visionary, the entrepreneur who has stepped outside the box and brought Modern Gent to Bermuda. A new concept, as Anthony already mentioned. I did want to put something out there for men. I wanted to create a space that men can feel comfortable to come into to receive self-care services without feeling like they were out of place. It's been 18 months now. We have brought this vision into realization with the help of these two wonderful people that are with me. I know, 18 months
already.
18 months.
That was yesterday, right?
Actually, to be honest, it's 20 months.
20 months.
Okay.
It's 20 months.
Yes.
Hold on, let's let him finish introducing himself first. We'll come back. This is good, but hey, let's go first. Keep going.
So 20
So that was your vision, to bring a outside the box male
Yes.
experience. Keep going.
Exactly. Create a male experience for, the males of Bermuda.
Okay.
So we have succeeded in doing that, and it's been very well received. We have established a very good clientele base over the past 20 months, and it's growing. So very pleased with the turnout. It was a very big risk, but it's planned out the way it should be.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
No, good. You
I
can.
thought you was gonna ask me.
No.
So, with saying that, I would like to speak a little bit about the type of clientele that we have.
Okay. Hold that thought. So you have introduction for yourselves, right?
Yeah.
Your background, you are, and I'll ask some questions about that, and then we'll come and talk about the actual business. Because I'm interested in terms of, you said that Dion said that you wanted to be in my words, like a male focus. So I do want to understand the degree to which males and females and how that mix goes, but I'll come back to that in a minute. But let's introduce yourself first.
Hi, guys. Luis Ramirez, a.k.a. Luis Tyler. That's how
Luis.
it's Tyler. That's how the customer call me.
Luis Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler.
Okay.
Stylo. That's
Stylo.
how they know him.
That's how everybody know me.
Okay.
And I want to express my deep gratitude to this island, which since 2014 I came. 2014 I came becoming my second home. Now, I just give me the deep opportunity, grow and contribute to this island and this industry about the salon area. 10 years later, I met Dion Ferbert, an extraordinary human being who's I share vision with him, passion and focus. We got similar idea since I met this man. And I'm say, wow, look, that's what I'm looking for since I came to Bermuda. Thanks to God, thanks to him, I am now part of the first bar, deeper lounge, and spa. And as the manager of the salon area, when I first came to Bermuda, I wanna start. It was a challenge for me because my English it was, not too much, but that's part of what I really appreciated, the opportunity, what Bermuda give it to me. Looking now so far, 11 years now in the island, how I share with my customers. I got family here now and all of that. So my dedicated talent and community professional, you're the foundation of events in which advance with my teamwork. I got a beautiful teamwork. We just focus and give it a good service, house being, and
Can I jump in on that?
yes,
Well,
sir.
I guess if I want to finish, like,
Okay.
Yeah, I can finish. Our focus is clear: to continue elevating this island through our work, our creativity, and then unique experience we offer every day to Bermuda.
Gotcha. And so, for you, background, you came from where?
I came from Dominican Republic.
Got you. And what was the initial piece coming here? Because you said that you came 10 years ago before you met, more than that.
Yes.
So what was the initial piece like? You came here employed to do what?
So I'm a start like I am barber. I work in cross the street like in Millennium Barber Shop.
Okay.
I worked with them for almost 10 years. So 10 years later, I met Dion Ferber.
Yes.
So who explained to me the vision, what he has about modern, who we call modern gen today.
Yes.
And was impact myself because I was on the same page. And we say, wow,
Same vision.
look, I got the same vision.
Uh-huh.
So as soon as I met him and we start share, I mean, say, you know what? I want to be a part of modern gen.
Okay.
And she said, almost 2 years, almost, in 8 months.
2 years.
I've been working. I'm the manager, and I've been so thankful, not only to God first, and with Him too, because He He trusts in my talent. And she said, "We are start. We open. I can see how we grow, and people start looking for every day. We see a new faces and modern gen, and that's what we really looking for. You know what I mean? Elevated
together.
the industry."
Gotcha.
Learn together.
Okay. So what's interesting is,
as well.
beg pardon? I'm not trying to, let's move on. You got a chance in a minute. You got a chance in a minute. So now, to the listening audience, if you're on Facebook, you'll see our about interaction. And it's a good sign, right? Because it speaks to the teamwork, the whole vibe that takes place, right? Because each of them are trying to talk over each other, which is not a good thing, but it is a good thing. But anyway, you'll get through that. And it's interesting because, again, you were not here last time when we interviewed them both, right? And what's amazing, which goes back to Dion as the owner here, is that you spoke to vision. Right? You spoke to the fact that when you met him and he talked about what he was planning on doing, he was able to portray the vision to you and you bought into that. And that's what's a beautiful thing. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more also in a minute because this is part of what it's all about. And so you said yourself, you've been here for 12 years altogether, came from Dominican Republic as a barber.
11 years.
11 years, okay.
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
You came as a barber, you worked for somewhere else for a period of time, and then Dion came along and had this strong vision, and for the past 2 years,
That's
you've
what
been
I'm looking for.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we together matches and boom.
Okay. All right. And now we have Miss Raven Smith. Give us your introduction. Tell us who you are. People need to know who you are, I guess, and then we'll have a real conversation. And don't just say my name is Raven Smith.
Well, Louis had the whole speech, you know.
I know. Okay.
But yeah, my name's Raven Smith. Bermudian, born and raised. Spent some years overseas, mostly for school, education. And like Louis, my introduction to modern gent was through Dion's vision, as I mentioned before. The first time that we talked about modern gent, like I said before, you know, my imagination just like sparked, and I was like, whoa, like this is what needs to happen on this island. And I always think it's amazing when someone has such a, like, it's a simple concept, but it's just so like out there, you know? And yeah, I think like Louis, and like most people, you know, you hear about Dion's idea and modern gent, you come into this space and you realize that this is where you want to be. And that was my experience. Even just hearing about it, I thought this is what I want to be a part of, and I wanted to add my expertise, and you know, help to build that vision with Dion.
And so before I go into vision more so, but what is your background in terms
Oh,
of...
I'm sorry. So I'm a spa therapist
Okay.
in education.
Yeah.
And that covers everything from massage, facials, manicures, pedicures, waxing. Am I forgetting anything? Yeah, let's just stay there.
Okay.
So that's pretty much my education when it comes to the modern gent side of
Okay.
things. Yeah,
And you trained where?
in London.
In UK. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got those basics out of the way.
Yeah.
So we're listening to us now. We can have some more fun, I suppose, because this is really good here now. So that vision is obviously critical in terms of all of our life expertise and that sort of thing. It's, as I said earlier, it's a foundation. It's more than a dream. And I want to talk some more about that in terms of how do you transition from a dream to a vision and how you make it a reality. And so, go ahead. You were able to develop this thing, and with just these two, you were able to convey that to a point whereby they both change what they're going to do. So go for it.
So basically, we went through it before.
Yeah. But remember, some people didn't know about it. So go ahead.
I understand.
Go ahead. Okay.
I understand.
Go ahead.
So, as I said before, you start with a vision. It's in your head. You mentioned earlier as well, Anthony, when you have a thought, or when you plant that thought, it's a seed. But everyone can have thoughts, but the key is to have action, right?
Okay.
So to get that vision into a reality, there takes steps, as I was explaining before. So for me, I spent a lot of time doing research, and then I set my goals. I put it all down on paper, and then I just laid out the steps that it would take to get to that goal. So it was very basic, but when I say basic, the actual plan or the process, but it took work, it took time, it took dedication. You had to be focused, you had to be grounded. There's things that come up that are going to try to discourage you, but you have to know what you want. So basically, as you have your steps written down, as you complete each one, you check it off, and you just continue to move forward and move forward. And then eventually you get to that goal. And, so when I met Luis, first of all, I knew that he understood the vision, but I also knew that he would play a very important role, just based on our conversations. We had some very good conversations, and just from those conversations, I was learning quick.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this guy knows a lot about the industry.
How you meet him?
That was funny.
Funny, funny that you asked that question. So Luis and I's children went to the same nursery.
Okay.
So that's where we actually met.
First time.
Luis and I's son had more of a relationship in the beginning than Luis and I.
Okay.
Because his son one day just laid on my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I came to the nursery one day and he was laying on the teacher, and then he just reached out to me and laid on my shoulder.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Fast forward a couple of weeks, I then met Luis at the nursery as well. But I'll share something with the audience because I am a man of faith. I do believe in God. And for some reason, the time that I met Luis, the first time, this concept was not even in play in my mind yet.
So you had not thought about it yet?
Not thought about it yet. But
Okay.
when I met Luis, a gut feeling told me that I would work with this man.
He told me that.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
This thought just popped out of nowhere.
It was been 2 years after,
And then it was,
almost.
2 years after when I bumped into him and asked him more about the industry and how to attain barbers. And
Okay.
that's where the connection came, and we started from there.
At that point in time, your children, I guess, were out of nursery school? Because you said 2 years hence? Or they were students? Okay.
Yeah. They were just about.
Right, okay.
Just about. One, my son was still in. My
Right.
daughter was, just coming out.
And then talk more because about how the idea, your background is was construction, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then, so this is a
Mechanical
different...
company, air conditioning,
Right.
but on construction sites, yes.
And so I'm saying, so this is actually quite new to you at that point in time. The whole industry is new to you, and so you had to get
Apart
the
from the
expertise.
research that I
Right.
had done, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So talk some more about that in terms of how you were able to transition or to get the information, because that's also unique
Yes.
for what you've done.
Yeah. So the conversations that Luis and I had, the more we had conversation, I started realizing things that I didn't know.
Okay.
You know,
That's how it's done.
Yeah, so I'm picking up and I'm listening, and he's explaining the industry to me.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, this is the key player right here, right?
And how did you know the conversation in terms of you knew that he was a barber? How did that happen? Just by chance, or how did you know that this is what he was doing?
So, no, from fast forward after I first met him,
Yes.
you know, after that I knew that he was a barber. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I also knew that I can go and talk to him because I was inquiring about barbers initially.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the initial connect of him and I.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then, you know, obviously, fast forward, our conversation went deeper,
Uh-huh.
and then things went into play where he was interested in coming in and
Help.
and I'll be honest, when I look at where we are and how things have played out, the role that Luis plays is so important because for me, being a Bermudian entrepreneur and a Bermudian boss,
Yes.
and having my barbers that are a Dominican team, it's a different culture.
Okay.
Right? And, you know, I speak a little bit of Spanish, but it's not always about the language. It's more about the thought patterns,
Yes.
right? How people think, or their backgrounds and where they come from. So, to be honest, Luis is that link to what makes us be able to have such a good team. So that in turn makes his role very, very, very important within Modern Gent.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I'm saying no. It's critical in terms of, and that even goes beyond the conversation tonight that's expected in terms of like modern gent per se, because the a different conversation is that Bermuda's going through what I call a renaissance, right? And I'm not sure if we're quite prepared for that, or if we understand it in terms of there is a reducing Bermudian constitution, like
100%.
Bermudians themselves, right?
Yep.
And so we're gonna have more and more other nationalities come to the
Influx,
island,
that's
and we
right.
have to understand how that's going to change the Bermudian dynamic going
Yes.
forward. And right now is to understand what's happening. And so you're saying you're from Dominican Republic, for example, right?
Yes.
There are more and more persons here from DR.
Yeah,
And
so
so
far.
it's an interesting conversation in terms of how do you do that? And so for either of you would be, so how do you then translate what you're trying to do to him and trust that he's going to actually have a genuine translation to the barbers?
Right.
Because you don't know what they're talking about
Yeah.
in that sense. How does that work?
When they slow down, I do.
Okay.
They go fast now.
Sure. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
But no, it's true. It's true what you're saying, right?
guess.
I can put something extra.
Sure.
So I wanna share something too. What I learned when I met Dion Ferber.
Yes.
So from the beginning, I like business, but for me it was more difficult because I'm foreign. So, you know what I mean, from Dominican Republic. So when I work in my old job, and he explained to me about the vision, I remember from the beginning, like he got some concept about like ladies to do a barbers and all of that. You remember that?
Yes, yes.
So
yeah.
for me to see a man work in different industry and want to start something what I know how to work and how, you know, I mean, I've been working for so long. I mean, say, wow, this is a beautiful vision. And not only that, it's a challenge because for him, it will be difficult if you don't know exactly how to manage everything. I know he's very smart, man. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as soon I met him, something told me, listen, look at how God works. I believe in God too. And I know, I want to say to everybody listen to us, any dream what you guys has, pray and be consistent. We have something similar. Well, we always say like walk through faith.
Yeah.
It is the way how you can make the dream reality. So no matter how many dreams you have, if you not pray and you working hard for that, it's difficult to you making them reality. So as soon as I met Dion, I mean say, you know what? Even if I don't work in Modern Gent, I want to be part of Modern Gent.
Wow.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Those were his words.
the way how you invest
That was his first word.
and the industry need help. And I'm gonna say to Dion, listen, anytime you need me, I'll be here. But something told Dion, you know what? I need you.
Okay.
I know what I need your help, but I want you work with me. And that was challenge for me because what I work, it was a good position too. And then they offer what he does for me. I say, you know what? Go ahead. And then we start talking about the vision. I say, look, that's the way how it's better and all of that. That's why we connect.
Yeah.
We not only are like a friend. Like for me, Dion is my brother, you know, because I'm foreign from the different country and met somebody to believing in your dream too and believing in your talent. It's not everybody to do that, you know what I mean?
Yes,
it's a lot of barbers in the island too, but believing or not, God is real. That's what I want to say. And guys, no matter what dream, no matter how hard, how difficult it is, if you believing and you're working hard, just go ahead. Everything can be a reality.
Okay. And so now I'll come to Ms. Smith in a similar vein in terms of how did you talked before about the vision, right? But how do you then translate your knowledge or transfer as best you could your knowledge to Dion in terms of your expertise so that he understood it and you not overtake it, if that makes any sense? How do you need the mic, by the way?
I think I understood your question in the way that how did me and Dion relate to each other?
Yeah, and again, with Dion having come into the industry new,
Right.
and you having to give him information
Right.
to help him, how did that work?
Dion's a really smart man. So I think when talking to anyone, you want to teach, right? So the conversation just kind of like it grew naturally. Like if I introduced the concept, he was like, "Yeah, I researched this." So it's not like he just came into it brand new. Like this man, you could tell he did a lot of research. So when he was asking me questions, because it was really him coming to me, with questions and not necessarily me explaining things to him, until we got further along into the process. It was easy for me to explain things to him because he already came with so much knowledge and he did so much research. So I could tell that he was passionate. He didn't come to me and ask me, "Oh, what should I look at?" He came to me and said, "Oh, I saw this and I want to understand this." You know what I mean? So I didn't have to explain much because he had ideas. I just kind of, relayed the information that I had and made sure that he understood what it would take to implement, procedures, protocols, and things into the space that he was building. But even to this day, I don't feel like I've had to teach Dion anything because, well, he doesn't want to be a spa therapist, but
You don't want to be a barber.
But when Dion literally, I've seen him watching us. So we'll be doing something, myself and Louis, talking to our clients, explaining services, and he's watching, he's listening, and guess what? A day later, you hear him saying the exact same thing with more gusto, to a client. He's so passionate about what he does. So it's not, I wouldn't necessarily say I had to sit down and teach Dion. It was more, just given the information that he was asking for, and then once I have my role within the business, showing him what I could bring to the table and what I thought we should do, and having discussions and building to make sure that it was right for Modern Gent.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is, so each of you had similar circumstances in terms of you were both working at established places wherever you were, and you both made the decision to leave where you were to come and work for Dion.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. And for the listening audience, again, our guest this evening, they are all from Modern Gent. Dion Ferbert is the actual owner, the visionary, strong visionary behind that. And then we had both Raven Smith and Luis Ramirez as the spa manager and the salon manager, respectively. And so we're having a conversation now in terms of how, because I really want to emphasize